Another day, another opportunity for Marvel to cock Peter Parker because at this point it's become their go-to. That they just need to keep doing this because they think this is what people want. I don't know what people they think want this. I don't know why they believe anybody's interested in this. But I do know Marvel has no intention of listening to anyone and continuing to do this crap. That's what they're doing. Dive into this article here from Fandom Pulse. Marvel editorial cocks Peter Parker again in Amazing Spider-Man relaunch. Why not? This is the thing here with Mephisto from One More Day. When when Peter Parker made a deal with the devil and he wanted their marriage. Stupid crap. Absolutely stupid crap. Marvel Comics editorial likes nothing more than to humiliate fans of the Amazing Spider-Man, as exemplified in the new Amazing Spider-Man number 6, where Peter Parker is once again shown getting cocked at the expense of his character. Of course, ever since the event One More Day, where J. Michael Straczynski and Joe Quesada teamed to remove Spider-Man's marriage from continuity with a nonsensical storyline where Peter made a deal with the proverbial devil, Mephisto, to end his matrimony. It's been one thing after another of not giving fans what they want and ensuring that Peter never develops as a character. In fact, he's shown to be a complete loser with the ladies. His secondary love, Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, has been turned into a lesbian in recent iterations of her book, giving Peter no solace there. Mary Jane, meanwhile, in continuity, has been shacking up with this fellow Paul who looks a lot like Matt Walsh, much to the chagrin of fans who hated the character and what was being done to Peter in the progress, because everybody hates Paul. Everybody. It had been getting pretty bad under Zeb Wells' tenure as writing, but it may be editorial who's mandating all this cuckoldry for Peter, as it seems to transcend writers at this point. It's exactly editorial at doing this. This is what they want. Because you have Mary Jane and Paul and the imaginary children that they literally picked up on the side of the freaking road. And we were supposed to believe this wasn't just something somebody made up. Yeah, right. Last year, editor Nick Lowe was heckled at New York Comic Con for refusing to give answers on the Peter and MJ relationship because they don't care what the fans want. You cannot pretend this is not what the fans want at all. And they talk about what he was heckled at New York Comic Con, and then he came out now and literally lambasted a fan for daring to write a letter stating that, fans are tired of seeing Peter being treated like this, and they want better for him. They want him and Mary Jane back together again. Well, of course not. Tom Brevoort lashed out at fans on his blog, implying MJ and Peter would never get together again in mainline continuity, despite Marvel's Ultimate Spider-Man posting record numbers in sales for presenting the married couple with children that fans crave from Spider-Man. Again, how did they market Ultimate Spider-Man? Married with children. That's what because don't for a second think that Marvel doesn't know this is what people want. They know that, but they have no intention of doing it because Spider-Man is evergreen for them. They realize, listen, we could do all the shit we want with Spider-Man, and we could always just keep rehashing because he's that kind of character that we could just keep doing that too. But eventually it's going to run because people are going to get fed up of it. Like I say, you could tell good stories. One of the best Spider-Man stories you ever got was when he and Mary Jane were married. When he and Mary Jane were together. You could tell those stories, but you refuse to do it because you have absolutely no idea how to do anything other than just ruin and piss all over his life. Marvel went back to the well to try to relaunch with an all-new Amazing Spider-Man #1 first issue this last year, something they've been doing more often as their comics aren't selling beyond the first handful of issues, largely because of continuity problems editorial has caused, which makes longtime fans not want to read any longer. Yeah. In this new iteration, Spider-Man is dating a nurse named Shay Markin from Ravencroft Institute. That's a red flag right there. They're shown getting coffee and having a date in the newest issue. Peter asks her to a trivia night, and Shay says she has a date with another man, asking Peter if he's dating other women also, acting like it's completely normal for a woman to act like a complete slut and a man accept it in modern society. Yeah, because this is the battle key. And think about is that look at the art. They look like they have flicking bobbleheads for some reason. They really look like they have bobbleheads. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. Because this is the thing. And she says, sorry, I have a date, and he's coughing with the coffee. I'm sorry, and he's a date, you say, and she's, why, yes, a date. You sound positively vexed, Mr. Parker. And I am a little, why? You're seeing other women, aren't you? Or are you going to tell me that's Aunt May's perfectly conditioned silver hair I've noticed on your jacket all month? And that would be a lie. And we are too mature to lie, aren't we? And I think so, but admitting we see other people feels very extra mature. And she's like, we're not married, we're not exclusive, we are dating. If we want to change that status, it's a discussion. Like, apparently, and this article is really good here. Like, it's perfectly normal for a woman to act like a complete slut and have a man accept it in modern society. Who do they think wants this? That's my question. Who do they think really wants this? You really think anybody sitting around going, listen, I want Peter Parker to be in this type of relationship where he's treated like an absolute a-hole, where this woman is dating this Shay Mark and he can't even have a normal relationship with her. They're supposedly non-exclusive, so she could go with whoever man or woman that she wants, because we don't know at this point. And she's talking about how, oh, she's seeing silver hair on his coat. So I don't know, is he hooking up with Black Cat on his side? How is this any kind of progression that anybody wants? This isn't what anyone asks for, wants, likes, or cares to see when it comes to Spider-Man Peter Parker. Nobody wants to see this. But this is what you're doing, and you're acting like this is perfectly fine. And oh God, like I said, the bobblehead art is terrible. Later, Peter gets very clingy to Black Cat, trying to let her know he's not exclusive, but we all know that's not going anywhere at this juncture. Oh, Lord. So this is what Black Cat does. Want to fool around, and I was gonna try to beat Janie into mystery, but I do like fooling around, and I am not exclusive. And she's so forward. Like, who in the name of Christ is interested in this? This is what Peter Parker Spider-Man has been reduced to now. Understand? He's supposedly dating Shay, but they aren't exclusive, and he's fooling around with Black Cat whenever the occasion calls for it. This is not entertaining. This is not good. This is just ridiculous. Because we all know these things are never going to work out. That is, they're never going to work out. Aunt May returns to humiliate fans later in the issue, implying she wouldn't mind if Peter got married, but obviously not to Mary Jane, who the fans would want. Yeah, because this is what we get here. This is what Aunt May has to say. She is a nice girl, Peter. paper on the left of the printer, please. And she's good head on her shoulders, doesn't put up with your nonsense. And he's, yeah, wait, what? And she says, I'm just saying that if you were looking to settle down, I'm not opposed. And he's like, "Hey, I think I'm a ways off from anything like a stable relationship, Aunt May." And she's like, what about stability in general? You know who's a really good girl for you, and who actually understood the health and all that? Mary Jane. But no, we can't have that. So now you're talking about, oh, Shay's a nice girl, Peter. You don't even know Shay. You don't know Shay. He's barely known Shay for more than a freaking month or two, maybe 6 months if you want to go with that. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. There's no history, no nothing there, but they just keep doing it. We all know this thing with Shay is not going to last. As far as I'm concerned, they're pretty much done at this point. They're just hanging on for some nonsensical reason. That's it. But no, of course, Aunt May isn't opposed to him settling down, but it just must not be with Mary Jane. That would be so wrong. This seems another dead-end insult of a character nobody likes, wants, or asks for, with the sole intention of turning Peter Parker into a cuckold again. Why does Marvel Comics keep doing this to Spider-Man? And more importantly, why do fans keep buying it? I think at this point, when people buying this stuff anymore, that's the people who are collecting it, and the ones who just want to see how bad it could get before it completely implodes. But this is nonsense. This is continued reasons as to why Spider-Man is the way it is, because they keep doing this shit and then acting like, well, you all have to like it because you all have to like it. That's it. Hey, I tell you, boy. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.